Hello there, welcome to HolyWiki Recaps. Recaps in which we just don't give quick recaps of movies and series, but also we explain and break down story of movies and TV series. We give detailed explanation. And still try our best to keep the length of video short so you don't get bored. And in today's video we will explain Hellbound TV series season 1. So if you haven't watched season 1 of this series, we will recommend you to watch it because video is full of spoilers. Another thing is that as you all know most of the Korean names are actually kind of very hard to pronounce. Especially for AI. Therefore I will mention some of the characters by their first name or last. And some by profession. So you don't get confused as well. And if I end up pronouncing any name wrong. Sorry for that in advance. So with that said, let's begin the explanation. Season 1 opens in cafe. Where some teenagers are talking about Chairman Jeong's interview. In interview, Chairman Jeong is explaining that if you are sinner and you have done something terrible in your life, for example murder, rape, basically these type of big sins, then an angel will appear in front of you and will prophesize about your death. Angel will give you a notice that you are bound to hell and also will tell the day and time of that person's death. And exact on that day and time, the executioners from hell will appear and will drag that person to hell. Where on television we can see some monsters attacking targeted people. One of the teenager believes that it's just a CGI to get attention. In short, he does not believe a word Chairman Jeong is saying, but his fellow friend believes in it. In cafe shop we can also see a man sitting in fear continuously looking at his mobile clock. Eventually 3 executioners from hell appears to kill that man. That man runs to save his life. But the executioners catches him and gives him a painful death. Where they first beats him brutally. And after that all 3 of them burns him and then disappears. During this attack, majority of the people recorded the entire attack. That means world is about to change. As the recording is spreading like a fire on internet. Scene shifts to a character named Jin, who is a detective. Who has been traumatized by his past, which everyone is aware of, including his chief. His chief supports him as well, therefore he orders Detective Jin and his partner Yujin to take an interview of Chairman Jeong, who is a chairman of New Truth Society. He orders them to take interview from him about the murder of Ju Myung-in, whose wife gave him divorced years ago. Same man who was murdered outside the cafe by the executioners, as it is still hard to believe that monsters killed a man. Before I continue, let me clarify that what is New Truth Society? Well, New Truth Society was made by Chairman Jeong, and from 2012 they are trying to prove to world that executioners from hell are real. But majority of the people still don't believe them. New Truth call themselves a religious group, in which most of the followers are teenagers. Another organization named Arrowhead was made after New Truth, which blindly follows the New Truth. And Arrowhead Society majority members are teenagers. At the Civil Cafe shop location. After Chairman Jeong gives his interview, Detective Jin and his teammate starts conversation with Chairman Jeong. Where Jin sees his daughter, who volunteered herself to help the New Truth. On which Jin gets upset as it is an age and time of her study, not volunteering herself into helping groups like New Truth. Chairman Jeong gives Detective Jin relieves that he didn't knew that it was affecting Jin's daughter's education. Therefore from now on he won't let his daughter volunteer into any activity related to New Truth. During traveling, Chairman Jeong tells them that he was an orphan. And at one point of his life, he even decided to kill himself, a death that no one witnesser sees. Therefore he goes on mountains of Tibet, where he finds his purpose. Where for the first time he saw the executioners of hell, and since that day he is doing research on them. Chairman Jeong lives a very common life. Which we get to see as he uses public transports despite being offered VIP's transports from his followers. On which we also get to see that how so many people respects him. At Chairman Jeong's place, before ending an interview. Chairman Jeong reveals that Detective Jin's daughter told him about the past tragedy that happened to family of Detective Jin. How a man that murdered his wife was released only because that man was a drug addict. Chairman Jeong explains to Jin that don't he think that man deserved to die. He indirectly tries to convince Jin that human law system is corrupted and that's the reason God is doing this all. Sending executioners from hell to take the souls of the guilty one. At home, Detective Jin talks with his daughter. But she gives him relief that she will never do anything wrong. Neither she is compromising her education, which Jin wanted to hear from her. Detective Jin searches on internet about his wife. About how she was murdered and how the man who murdered her was released after that. Scene shifts to a character named Park, who's a single mother, raising 2 kids. At home she is surprised by her kids, as today is her birthday, and this beautiful moment is being captured by her son on camera. But eventually a strange figure, which for now I will call an angel, appears and prophesizes that Park will die after 5 days at 3 p.m. and that she is bound to hell. And this entire scenario is recorded by her son. Then we get to see a member of Arrowhead, who everyone for now knows with the name Skull Mask, who is fueling his agenda by misguiding people that no one should interfere with God's plan. And those who will try to do that, Arrowhead will punish them for that. Which we get to see that some members of Arrowhead, who are mostly teenagers, are beating a man who don't believe in God. Scene shifts to police station, where that man has filed a case against those teenagers. Where we are introduced with a new character named Min Hai, who is an attorney, and she is right now an attorney of that man. As she believes that just because those teenagers are minors doesn't mean they are allowed to cross any limits. Even those teenagers knows that laws are not strict towards minors. Therefore they are not worried about anything. Ju's death is now becoming a problem for police. And the reason is Skull Mask, during his live stream, demands police to tell the public about the sin for which Ju was taken to hell. Detective Jin is worried about his daughter. As after his wife's death, his daughter after so many years for the first time was smiling when she volunteered with New Truth. On which Eugene tells him that at least she is moving over that tragic event. At attorney's office we get to see vandalization. Obviously done by teenagers, taunting criminal law system, that their system is corrupted. On which Min Hai is already very upset. Therefore she orders staff to remove those graffitis. In office we are introduced with Park's character, whose death, as you all know, was predicted by an angel. Park explains that she went to Chairman Jeong with her prophecy recording, where Chairman Jeong offers her 3 billions if she allows them to demonstrate her death live on TV, when executioners will take her soul to hell. Therefore she is here as she wants to make sure that the money that is offered to her by the New Truth is delivered to her children safely without any inconvenience, so she can die peacefully. Min Hai is still processing a situation, whereas her fellow colleague does not believe in these executioners. Which Min Hai later asks her mother at home, who is suffering from cancer and will die soon. But she is not afraid of dying, neither she cares about whatever is happening outside, as she is happy that she is living her final moments with her daughter. Which gives Min Hai relieves. That police station chief is upset, as no one has any clue about the attacks. And the substance that is found on a dead body is inorganic. Detective Jin receives call from Min Hai to meet her at the Park's house, as a meeting is decided to be held there to finalize the deal between the New Truth and Park. On which Detective Jin asks Chairman Jeong about the how New Truth Society is organizing this much money, on which Jeong explains that after those events, number of rich people have joined their society and they are willing to give this much amount of money to Park to do live broadcast of her demonstration when executioners will kill her. At Park's home they finalize the deal where Jeong sends 3 billion to Park's account. And Park's son is listening to this entire conversation. During conversation Min Hai explains to Chairman Jeong that if information regarding to Park or her children's revealed to the public, then the contract will be cancelled. And Park won't appear in live broadcast and will keep the money. On which Chairman Jeong replies that New Truth members are not monsters, they won't ruin any innocent children's life. Jeong takes conversation further by asking Park about what she has done in her past, that she is now bound to hell. On which Park's son, being frustrated, starts screaming at everyone that his mother is innocent and she didn't do anything. Park explains to her son to stay in his room and look after his sister. Jeong further asks Park that where is her husband and who is father of her children's. On which Min Hai explains that it is not part of a deal. And Park has right to stay silent as she don't have to give her personal info. During this heated up argument, Park explains that she only wants one thing, which is good life for her children's. She does not care about dying. Her kids should be able to live a happily life with the money that New Truth sent to her account. A place where no one will know her children's with her name. On which Min Hai has already planned everything, as she has planned to send Park's children's to Canada to live with her cousin, who will take good care of them. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Skullface on his live stream announces that New Truth will live broadcast a demonstration of someone's death who was prophesied by Angel. He also triggers everyone to find what is the name of that person and what sin that person has committed. A man reveals the name of Park, which is given to him by none other than Detective Jin's teammate. And turns out that he is becoming a New Truth follower as well. Skull Mask starts making theories that Park has 2 children from 2 different men and that she has killed those 2 men for insurance money. Which, just to be clear, are just some disgusting theories being made by Skull Mask. They are not true. In fact, it is still not revealed what Park actually did, that she is now bound to hell. Which I think will be a big reveal. Well, now Park's information is out. Therefore, Min Hai calls Detective Jin that she will meet him at the airport. As she is heading towards airport as well, along with Park and her children's, as they want to send Park's children's to Canada as quickly as possible before situation here gets worse. Which on the way we get to see that how some people were staring at them. Detective Jin, on the other hand, before leaving for airport, calls his daughter. Where his daughter tells him that she is with her friends studying and she is safe. When Jin leaves for airport, we get to know that his daughter is with Jeong. Where she explains to Jeong that because of her mistake her mother died. She was meant to give her father gift from her mother. But she on the way forgot. Where her mother, when left to deliver the gift to her father, she was murdered. And this is a reason she cannot talk to her father, as she believes her mother's death was her fault. Jeong gives her relief that she should not punish herself for something that she didn't do. Min Hai successfully manages to get Park's children's on plane which leaves for Canada. Where on plane, when her daughter asks from her brother about their mother, her brother starts crying as he knows that they won't see their mother again. On which Park is also sad about, as she didn't able to say a final goodbye to her children's. But she is happy as well, as now her children's have enough money to start their new life in Canada with Min Hai's cousin. On the other hand, Jeong convinces Jin Hee to kidnap a man that killed her mother, which she does. And later Jeong burns that man alive in an incinerate chamber. On which Jin Hee starts laughing, as now for her, it feels like she is now free from a burden which she carried over her life as guilt for being a reason her mother died. By killing a man who killed her mother, Jeong and Jin Hee dumps the body of a man along with his identity card to make it look like a doing of executioners. Next day, Jin Wen finds about death of the murderer of his wife. And disbelieving convinces his chief that at night he was with Park and Min Hai at the airport for the safety of Park. People, or should I say members of New Truth and Arrowhead, are protesting about Park to reveal her sins. Obviously they were triggered by Skull Mask. But Park now does not care about anything, which she explains to Min Hai as well. Situation gets worse when Min Hai and Park finds that Park's demonstration will be live telecast by big news channels as well. And that is because of the death of Jin's wife's murderer. Which Skull Mask explains that when law didn't do any justice, God did justice itself. Because of this whole situation, Jin asks for all the security footages from where his wife murderer was last seen. Meanwhile, Jin's daughter is still not picking up his call. Jin still processing the situation. The police station is attacked by members of Arrowhead, in which again teenagers are mostly included. Police manages to capture some of those members of Arrowhead. Scene shifts to Park's house, where we get to see that how house is turned into a whole stage. Where some super rich VIPs paid very high amount of money to see Park's death. Min Hai discusses this with her partner that how these VIPs manages to did it in just 3 days. But Min Hai's partner still does not believe in angels and executioners. When Min Hai asks Park that does she want to talk to her children's, on which Park replies that she will do it after all this. That means Park still has hope to survive. Min Hai receives a package, but before she could open it, a siren warns everyone that Park's time is up, and now it's 3 p.m. For few seconds nothing happens. But eventually 3 executioners from hell appears and starts attacking Park. All those people who didn't believe in executioners and angels are standing in disbelieving where Park is brutally beaten up. Entire police force is standing in shock and does not attack the executioners in fear. When Jin tries to rescue Park, he is beaten up to unconscious by one of the executioners. Executioners kills Park and then disappears. All the VIPs and people around starts worshipping, excluding Min Hai and her partner. Skull Mask on live stream triggers people against Jin, Min Hai and her partner as they tried to interfere with God's plan. Jin is still worried about his daughter. He watches a footage in which he sees a man wearing a coat dragging body of his wife's murdered. Now Jin is convinced that executioners didn't kill his wife's murderer, a human did it. Jin watches a live interview of Jeong, where he is being interviewed from his home, where Jin notices the same code of that he saw in a footage, being convinced that Jeong is the one who killed his wife's murderer. And Jin is also convinced that his daughter was involved as well. He heads towards the Jeong's house, where his followers are there to support Jeong like loyal dogs. Jin breaks into Jeong's house, but Jeong wasn't there. Outside the house he is attacked by the followers of Jeong, but Jin receives a call from Jeong. And everyone stops beating him. Jeong orders everyone to stay away from Jin and let him go. Jeong gives Jin his location and asks to meet him on the location alone. In return he will explain to him about what happened to his wife's murdered and was his daughter involved or not. Jin heads towards the destination of Jeong. On the other hand, Min-hai opens up the same package, which is a file about Jeong. Due to a threat of Arrowhead, Min-hai with her mother has planned to leave the country as quickly as possible, as things are going to be worst. She finds that her office has been vandalized by Arrowhead members. She calls her partner and finds that he was attacked by the Arrowhead members as well. And now he wants to quit fighting against a New Truth and Arrowhead. He also explains that people now does not believe in law. In parking she sees her mother being attacked by Arrowhead members, and when she tries to help her mother, she is attacked as well, and both are left for death. Min-hai takes her mother to a hospital and finds that her mother is now dead. Min-hai leaves to find a man who sent her the package about Jeong. At location Min-hai finds a Pastor Kim, who once recorded a conversation with Jeong. On the other hand Jin finds Jeong as well. And here the cards are flipped. And both Min-hai and Jin finds that the executioners from hell does not only take sinners to hell, in fact they take innocent people as well. It was all random, and 20 years ago, an angel prophesied the death of Jeong as well. And then Jeong used all those years and formed a New Truth society. He made everyone believe that angel only prophesies the death of sinners, not the innocents. But it was all lie, all the prophecies from angel were random. Same thing Min-hai finds from the pastor's audio recorded conversation with Jeong, which he deletes and tells Min-hai that Jeong offered him to become a chairman of New Truth after him, which he accepts and that he has to kill Min-hai as well. Min-hai tries to escape, but is captured by the Arrowhead members which were called by Pastor, as Pastor Kim don't have guts to kill anyone. Arrowhead beats and kills Min-hai. On the other hand, Jeong gives Jin two options. He either records Jeong's death and tells everyone truth, but in a result his daughter will go to jail for helping Jeong killing his wife's murderer. Or he can stay quiet about this and dump his body so no one finds out about the half-truth about the angels and executioners. As if people find out that anyone can be given notice by an angel, then people will start panicking. And it will start chaos, which it already is. Jeong 20 years' time is up now. But before he reveals that Jin's daughter is safe and waiting for him at home. Since Jeong's time is up, executioners appears and beats him brutally and then burns him to death. But during this execution Jeong does not record anything, as he has decided to stay quiet as he don't want his daughter to go to jail. Neither he has any strong proof besides Jeong's death, which like I said he didn't record it. And from the burned body it is impossible to find whose dead body it is. And here Act 1 of the Season 1 ends. Act 2 of the Season 1 opens 4 years after the events, where world has changed now. Majority of the world now blindly follows New Truth. Police has also become a supporter of New Truth. And Park's house is converted into a historical place, where for the first time world accepted the existence of God and the executioners of hell. Arrowhead has also become very powerful. Where in documentary video, we get to see that how world sees the person and that person's family who is prophesied by angel to be bound to hell. They show no mercy on that person. We are introduced with a character named Bae whose company made a video for New Truth, on which New Truth members criticizes that they have to remove a part from video, where Park being killed by the executioners looks like a victim. Basically they want to show all the prophesied people as sinners. That means in this era, media has no freedom, and New Truth literally almost rules everything. Bae is ordered by his boss to work on a video and edit it according to the demand of New Truth. We also get to know that Bae recently became a father. Bae visits his fellow colleague and asks her to work on a video, where she gives him time, where Bae also sees an interview of people who are acting against the New Truth. Bae goes to get a script from his friend's table, where he finds a card of fishing spot. He is intervened by his friend, who tells him that he is leaving. On the other hand Bae's wife has given a permission to see her newly born baby. She starts making a video of her newly born baby so she can show it to her husband. But receives a big shock when she sees an angel prophesizing a death of her newly born baby and that newly born baby is bound to hell. Which is recorded by Bae's wife, and this video can destroy the new truth in the red head. As newly born baby cannot do a sin. Which Bae's wife searches on New Truth platform as well. But she couldn't find a single case related to baby. That means this case will change the world forever and for good. Bae on his way to hospital stuck in a traffic is called by his friend's wife. Who tells him that her husband has taken a big loan from a company pseudo and he is missing since then. He figures out from that fishing spot card where his friend could be. He heads towards the destination. On his way Bae is stopped by Arrowhead. As Arrowhead has nothing to do but to bully and harass people. Bae convinces them that he is heading towards a location to shoot pictures for his video. Arrowhead allows him to go. On reaching the destination he finds his friend. Who explains to him that his time is up and that pseudo will take care of everything. Eventually Executioners appears and brutally kills him. Bae, standing in shock, is captured by pseudo. And here we get to know that pseudo is an organization that is against a new truth order. And this organization is led by none other than Min Hai and that professor. Yes, Min Hai survived the Arrowhead attack. Pseudo's work is to cover the death of those unfortunate people and make it look like an accident or runaway case so their families are not mistreated by the society and being judged. At least that's the best pseudo can do for that innocent person and that person's family. Next morning the fishing spot is visited by police and New Truth. New Truth believes that man was killed by executioners, but their theory is proven wrong by a fake footage set up by the pseudo. Yuji finds a card of pseudo as well. Yuji visits a man who is about to be executed, where he finds the same card of pseudo. Where he gets every detail he can get from that man. He couldn't get too much info besides that pseudo covers the executions of the executioners. Scene shifts to Bae, who visited his wife in a hospital, where his wife shows him the video. And disbelieving Bae goes to his office, where he takes a pseudo's card from his fellow colleague, who was working on a video as well. On the other hand, Pastor Kim, who has now become a face of New Truth after Jeong, is live demonstrating a person's death in front of VIPs and as a punishment in front of his family as well. But the man believes that he hasn't done anything wrong. Well, his time's up and he is executed by the executioners. Yuji asks Pastor Kim to arrange an urgent meeting. In meeting, Yuji explains the whole situation about the pseudo covering up the prophecies. Kim orders Yuji to do anything possible to stop pseudo with the help of Arrowhead. On the other hand, Bae manages to find that professor, where he shows them a video. He takes Bae to Min Hai, where she asks permission from to live demonstrate his newly born baby's death, as there is no way to save his baby. They can either make his baby's death look like an accident, or he can help them open the eyes of people about the new truth. As if people sees newly born child being executed by the executioners of hell, they will eventually stop believing New Truth, and along with New Truth's end, police will take serious action against the members of New Truth and Arrowhead. Bae gets angry as he wants to save his child. Outside, Professor explains him that Min Hai was left for dead by the Arrowhead, but she was saved by the police. Min Hai believes that it's her fault that New Truth and Arrowhead has gone so far. And so many innocent people for no reason are judged as sinners, and their families are mistreated as well. Professor explains to him that one day he was driving along with his daughter. On their way, an angel prophesied his daughter's death of about 30 seconds. His daughter was killed. But an only relief that he had at that time was that only he knows about this. That means world will not hate his daughter. The world will know that his daughter died in accident, not by the executioners. Professor tells Bae that your baby has no chance to survive. But your baby's demonstration can help so many innocent people and their families by stopping the New Truth and Arrow. Bae at home explains the entire situation to his wife, and now it's up to them what they choose. Yuji, with the help of Arrowhead members, captures a pseudo member. And by threatening his wife, they get to find about the professor. Professor on his way is captured by Arrowhead. Arrowhead with his laptop tracks the location he last visited, and then they burn Professor to death. And also the guy they captured after getting the information from laptop. Min Hai is attacked chased by Arrowhead. But she fights them like a pro fighter, showing us that she has changed herself a lot. She became a full-on predator and not a prey anymore. While chasing, she is stopped by Yuji, but she knocks him down as well. Next day on news, Bae finds that the professor is dead. Where we can see the professors and the other pseudo members dead. Bae receives a call from Min Hai, who explains to him that there is not much time he and his wife has to decide. On which he has decided that he will demonstrate his newly born baby's death. As even he knows that New Truth will cover his baby's death like an accident. Or maybe they even declare that baby's parents killed the baby because New Truth can cross any boundaries. She asks Bae where he is now. Bae explains that he is in office, where Min Hai tells him that in situations like this, he should stay with his wife. Meanwhile, on the other hand, his wife is at New Truth office. From where she messages Bae that she wants to know if God made a mistake or not. And if there is a way to save her baby. Bae explains the situation to Min Hai, and they all heads towards the headquarters of New Truth. Yuji visits Bae's wife, where she shows him a video. Yuji, being confused, takes the clip and shows it to Pastor Kim and other members. Where they decide to first separate the baby from mother. As if world finds out about baby being prophesized and executed, then their entire organization will fall. Bae and Min Hai along with her pseudo members arrives. Where their one pseudo member distracts the reporters and New Truth members by saying that he is prophesized. Taking opportunity, Bae and Min Hai rescues the baby and Bae's wife before they could take the baby. From parking lot they manages to escape. On their way they change the car so no one will be able to track them. They all arrive at a destination in a house of a man. Min Hai asks Bae and his wife to decide now because New Truth is planning to kill both of you and frame baby's death on you. So no one finds that sinners are not the only one prophesied by angels, everyone is one by one being prophesied. The man whose house they are staying in was once a follower of New Truth. And he spent his entire life according to the teachings of New Truth, and yet one day an angel appears and prophesied his death. Therefore he is helping pseudo. Min Hai wants to live stream the clip of the baby when angel prophesies the baby's death. And that man says he was once a streamer, therefore he can help her to live stream. In live stream Min Hai explains the whole situation about that, how New Truth are misguiding everyone, and that anyone can be prophesied by an angel. And executioners can kill anyone, all the killings are random. And as a proof she plays recorded video of Bae's newly born baby being prophesied by an angel and to be bound to hell. And obviously after watching the live stream, people are starting to doubt New Truth. And now an only thing left is to broadcast baby's demonstration. And then New Truth and Arrowhead will end like they never existed. That man goes outside to buy some groceries, and here we find that man is none other than the Skull Mask, who after one live stream was prophesied. He calls the New Truth, where Pastor Kim convinces him that God has chosen him to fix his mistake, that newly born baby was never meant to bound to hell, it was a mistake made by God. Because of which God chose Skull Mask. As Skull Mask is prophesied to die 5 minutes after the baby's death, and this way God will fix his mistake. Obviously it's a lie and Skull Mask is a blind believer. He blindly believes the Pastor Kim, but does not inform him the location. As he believes God chose him to fix its mistake, not the New Truth. He throws his phone to give them hint where he'll be found. And by the time New Truth will arrive his work will be done. Baby's demonstration is about to begin, therefore Skull Mask first kills some of the members of the pseudo who were there to live stream the demonstration. When Bae goes out to check the situation, he finds dead bodies of pseudo members and is attacked by Skull Mask, but he manages to survive. Skull Mask, without wasting any time, heads upwards to kill Min Hai and Sound. But they manages to escape as well. Suong outside tries to explain everyone about a situation. But baby's time is up and executioners are here. Bae, Suong and Min Hai fights to keep the baby alive. Min Hai maybe wanted to show demonstration of baby. But deep down she is still a caring woman who cannot watch baby getting harmed. They are beaten up by the executioners, and everything is being recorded by people which is being streamed live. New Truth traces the phone of Skull Mask. And from live stream they manages to find the exact location where everything is happening. Bae ties himself and his wife with a thin plastic pipe acting as a shelter for his baby. Min Hai tries to save them, as she can't let more innocent people die, especially the baby. But she fails, and executioners burns Bae and his wife to death along with the baby. Min Hai is angry over herself as how she chose to destroy the New Truth over an innocent baby's life. But eventually she and everyone else around hears a crying voice of a baby, and turns out baby is still alive. Skull Mask is angry that he was chosen to fix God's mistake, not Bae and his wife. Therefore he tries to kill a baby. But Min-hai saves the kid, and skull mask time is up as well, and an executioner brutally gives the death he deserves. Min-ho takes the baby and leaves. Yuji and other new Truth members arrives at the location and tries to follow Min-hai, but are stopped by the people, as now people are starting to doubt New Truth, and New Truth time is over. Which when one man says to the face of Yuji. Yuji beats him up. Yuji is arrested by a police, as now their eyes are opening about the New Truth. Min-hai finds a taxi, where taxi driver explains to her that he does not care who she is. Taxi driver explains that there are people who don't believe in New Truth, and he is one of them. Min-hai asks him to take her and baby as far away as he can from here. In post-credits scene we get to see big twist that none of us expected, where we get to see that Park is resurrecting from her death. And with resurrection of Park, Act 2 and Season 1 ends. Now let's answer some of your questions. I know your first question must be, why people are being prophesized at first place. By the end of episode 3, audience finds that not only sinners, but anyone can be prophesized by angel. But the question is, the figure that actually prophesized everyone's death was an angel or not? Well, simple answer is no. That was not an angel. First thing first, God in theory would not allow such a slaughter. According to my theory, those executioners who took people's soul to hell were actually demons created in hell. And the figure who prophesizes deaths is a devil itself. Or maybe a representation of powerful hell demon who needs souls to escape from hell. Or maybe it's actually a fallen angel Lucifer, and that may be a reason they are taking souls. Second question that you must have in mind is that, why executioners killed Bae and his wife instead of their newly born baby? Which to be honest for now is just a plot hole, but if we put some theories then maybe it's about cheating death like Final Destination 5. Soul for a soul and life for a life. And maybe this is a reason Park was resurrected again. Because maybe Bae's soul was delivered to hell in exchange for his baby's soul, and since there was one extra soul, and that soul was off Bae's wife was the reason Park came back to life. Or in second simple theory maybe she found a way to escape hell. Coming back to the question, why executioners took Bae and his wife's soul instead of their baby. Maybe executioners from hell must have only given one chance to take the prophesized person's soul back to hell. For example, executioners were sent to take the newly born baby's soul. Bae and his wife made a shelter for their baby. Executioners with their hell powers burns them to death. Executioners must have thought that baby has died because baby eventually stopped crying as well. But prophecy is still not ended because they are still here. But once they open a portal to enter back to hell, at that point the prophecy ended. And now executioners can't do anything to a baby. And after 5 minutes skull mask time was up as well. And executioners can only take one soul at a time. They took skull mask's soul. And baby survived. Because like I said, we all know that executioners cannot take multiple souls. I know it seems very confusing, but for now the best we can do to make some theories. Besides Park's resurrection, I think my remaining theories were almost accurate. But again, they are just theories. And the best we can do is to wait for season 2. But hopefully I managed to clear some of your doubts related to this series. If you have more questions you can ask them down in comment section. So let's end this video here. But before that I have a small request that make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon to stay notified for my latest recap and ending explanation videos.